Hello again, chaps and chapettes. How are we all doing? It is lovely to see you all again, as always. Now, if for any reason whatsoever any of you out there are in a bit of a bad mood, a little bit pissed off through the course of today, maybe from work or working in the back garden, working up a bit of a sweat in this hot heat, doing DIY around the house, it could be any reason whatsoever, you just find yourself a little bit annoyed, a little bit pissed off, I can near on guarantee you this is bound to give you at least a small chuckle. At least I hope it does. At least, if not for the absolute absurdity about what I'm about to read to you guys. Now, in a nutshell, we've heard stories like this quite a number of times over the last few years, be it from newspaper articles, news websites and various YouTube channels, that kind of a thing, covering these types of stories. It's about the boat people who arrive on these shores with full-blown thick beards, bigger beards than mine, less hair than me maybe, and a lot more grey hairs, who try and pass themselves off as 12, 13, 14-year-old boys. I'm pretty sure most of you out there can recollect a story such as that. And this is of no exception, my friends, except I've left one small detail out until I get to it in this article. I don't want to give you spoilers. And it's under the headline, Afghan asylum seeker with grey hair was 15 years old when he arrived in the UK, a tribunal has ruled. Now that alone is not the ludicrous part that I was talking about at the top of this video. That's still to come, even though how ludicrous that headline is in itself. It's still not as baffling as what I'm about to tell you. An Afghan asylum seeker with grey hair has been ruled a child by judges at the time of his small boat crossing. The asylum court deemed the migrant, who had previously failed to cross the channel 3 times, was 15, despite going grey on the side of his head. Authorities in the UK believe the asylum seeker was an adult with an established jawline and lack of youthful glow. I lost my youthful glow about 25 years ago. And I can also tell you this, guys, I'm 42 years old and I'm only just now starting to see little sprigs of grey hair at the side of my hair. Well, when it doesn't degrow. When it needs shaving, I can see little silvery sprouts coming out the side of my head. And I am 42. Certainly. Far from 15. Right, this is the best bit, my friends. This is what I'm talking about. However, an upper immigration tribunal ruled that the stress of journeying from Afghanistan may have led the asylum seeker to go grey. These people expect us to swallow whatever shit they shovel into our mouths and say, please sir, can I have some more? Well, I'm sorry, not this time. I am taking it out of my mouth and throwing it back in your fucking eye. This is unadulterated bollocks. The stress of breaking into a country sends a 15-year-old grey. My fucking ass. What do these people take us for? Seriously. In an interview with the Home Office shortly after his arrival, he explained that he had come to the UK for a better future, for better opportunities, that he would return to his country after I completed my studies in the UK. My ass, you are here for the duration. Once you get your stinky, flabby ass on this country's land, you are here until they put you in the fucking ground. Don't try and pull the wool over my eyes, my friend, because it will not wash. You didn't break into our country simply to go to school. You broke into our country so you could get some free handouts, a free fucking house, free food, and to bring your entire family with you once you establish yourself in this fucking country. Stop telling porkies. After being placed into foster care, I'm willing to bet, right, this man is in his late 30s. A man in his late 30s being placed into foster care is a fucking recipe for disaster. He could be a sex offender for all these people know, before all these people knew. And what is in foster care mainly? Children. And some of them, God for fucking bid, are indeed female children. Catnip to people such as this. I cannot comprehend the fucking stupidity of social services, even contemplating putting a child with grey hair in foster care with other children. You don't know fuck all about them. My dear God. After being placed into foster care, a number of social workers from East Sussex County Council raised questions of his age, as there was some doubts as to whether he was as young as he claimed to be. After an assessment from social workers, they said the assessors took into account that the migrant had been described as having an appearance older than his claimed age of 16. Specifically, some grey hair earlier in the report described as flecks on the side of his head and an established jawline and lack of youthful glow. Furthermore, he had not grown out of the clothes or shoes during his journey to the UK, and by his own account had reached his adult height before leaving Afghanistan in 2021. He also appeared to have facial hair before starting his journey to the UK. Now I'm here to tell you guys, when you are 15 years old, you do not hit your fucking adult height. I have heard from various sources that you don't stop growing fully until you are 21 years of age. So that alone should set alarm bells ringing. I am fed up to the back of the fucking teeth, right, of people from these hellish sandpit fucking shitholes coming here for a better life and better opportunities. I am sick to fucking death of being the fucking open buffet to the rest of the third fucking world. Yes, we do have a good education system for our own children. Our own kids are being pushed out of the education system. I have seen countless stories throughout the fucking years of local children not being able to get into local schools because they are rammed full of people who shouldn't fucking be here. It gets on my absolute tits. And sorry for the cutting the video there, guys. I had Amazon knocking at the door delivering some packages for me. Over an hour late, by the way. Anyway, as I was saying, my friends, once Nigel Farage and Reform UK get into number 10, they have one fucking massive monumental task ahead of them if they are indeed wanting to bring our country back from the very brink of extinction. Because let's face it, right? These lunatic ideas I just gave you in that newspaper article, people with grey beards, full-grown beards, grey hair, being passed off as 14, 15-year-old boys, that is coming from deep within the system. The woke mind virus, these bonkers ideas, are in every single facet of this country. It's in the armed forces, it's in the police force, it's in colleges, it's in schools, it's in universities, it's in the civil service, it's in Westminster. If Nigel Farage and the rest of his MPs don't start swinging that proverbial axe as soon as they get into number 10 on day fucking one and start making mass sackings or mass redundancies, this undertaking, I feel, is an absolute impossibility. Each and every one of these systems I have just mentioned to you needs to be destroyed and rebuilt from the bottom up, and fill them with people in the positions of power that need to be there. Preferably young, conservative-minded people, right-wingers. If you've got blue, green or pink hair, proverbial axe, you're out. Make them redundant and they can't take you to a fucking tribunal. Someone's got woke ideologies, someone who's got pronouns, I'm sorry, you're out. Get every single one of them out and rebuild from the bottom up. That's the only way you're going to solve this. A couple of deportations here and a couple of deportations there, I don't think he's going to cut it, because once them deportations happen, you will have anarchy in some of the systems where you cannot have anarchy. Law enforcement, armed forces, the civil service, Westminster, it will be an absolute shit show. You think Boris was hounded out of fucking power? You just wait until Nigel Farage starts dismantling all this bullshit. I wouldn't like to be in his shoes, guys. He is probably going to keel over from the stress. I personally can't see a way out of this. I honestly can't. I do hope I am proved wrong, at least in my lifetime. I don't feel like popping my clogs and leaving my kids in the UK in its current state. I would not die a happy man. I will be up there looking down on my kids, shaking my head, thinking, fucking hell, what have we done? What have we allowed to happen? Anyway, my friends, that's my lot. That's your video. Do let me know what you think in the comments as always. And I'll see you in a bit. Cheers.